Oh, here there. Oh no, what has Ben doing? Who is Ben? What is this scene all about? Well, this scene is from the TV show Lost, one of the later episodes. What is Lost? Well, for all the younger people, it was a popular TV show a few decades ago. It was so popular, people would have Lost watch parties at bars, at homes, just about anywhere where people would come together. Week after week, people would try to figure out what the heck was happening. It was a cultural phenomenon of its time, akin to the Game of Thrones. And recently, I don't think there's any TV show that we have right now that has such a mass audience appeal. Perhaps maybe in the future. But let's get back to this scene. Ben is turning a wheel. Looks like a regular steering wheel of some sort. Well, if you thought it was a regular steering wheel, you would be wrong. The wheel is a darma chakra wheel. This wheel has been scattered throughout the Lost series. During the final episode, the wheel can be seen in the background on the stained glass. In another scene, it is scattered throughout the wall of what I can only assume is a mind map of some sort. What the hell is a darma chakra wheel, also known as the wheel of law? Well, I'm glad you asked. And by the way, most Westerners who watched this scene when it first broadcast didn't pick up on the significance. But since you're here watching this video, you'll be one of the few people who will. Obviously, if you're in other parts of the world, you may already know what the significance is. The Dharma Chakra wheel is an important symbol in Eastern philosophy. It is akin to the Star of David for Judaism, Yin and Yang for Taoism, or the cross for Christianity. Just like all these symbols, it's very old. The wheel is even older than the Christian cross by approximately 300 years, and there are versions of the wheel even older, which isn't surprising since Eastern philosophies like Buddhism started several centuries before Christianity. The Dharma Chakra wheel is composed of several spokes and a rim. The number of spokes can vary. Different number of spokes means different things. For example, if the number of spokes is 12, it symbolizes the principle of cause and effect. If the number is 24, it represents the cause and effect and also the liberation of the cycles of the cause and effect. However, we will be discussing the most common and prevalent version, 8 spokes. The 8 spokes represent the Noble Eightfold Path. These are guidelines of Buddhism, similar to the Ten Commandments of Christianity, but less authoritative. Instead of thou shalt not do X, Y, and Z, instead it's more like you should do these things. Buddhists feel that everything is temporal. Since everything is temporal, to try and hold on to things is suffering. A person should try to live life without grasping at things. A way to achieve this is to, and this is where the Eightfold Path comes into play, first, right understanding. Basically see the world as it is and not what we would like it to be. Second, right intent. Decide what we really care for, what our hearts want, and with that, have persistence and passion for our journey in life. Right speech. Basically communication that hails dissent and unite people. Fourth, right action. Right action recognizes the need to take the ethical approach in life, to consider others and the world that we live in. Don't steal, don't cheat, kill, things like this. Number 5, right livelihood. Try to find a peaceful career that doesn't hurt people or things. Number 6, right effort. Cultivating an enthusiasm, a positive attitude in a balanced way. Number 7, right mindfulness. Be aware of the life's journey at that particular moment. Be clear and undistracted at that moment. And lastly, number 8, right concentration. To be able to turn the mind to focus on an object, such as a flower or a lit candle, or a concept such as a loving compassion. These are what the 8 spokes represent. The other part of the wheel is the rim. This represents the cycle of life, which for the most part cycles round and round until enlightenment. So this is the basics of the wheel of law. Before we cut this video, let's see other ways the Dharma Chakra wheel has been used throughout history. One of the most prominent uses was during the times of King Ashoka, a ruler of a large empire around 300 BC. Ashoka was a ruler who, after gaining power through cunning and ruthlessness, he purportedly killed his siblings, all 99 of them, in order to gain ascension to the throne. As he gained power as a young man, he definitely put down surgeons with a heavy hand. Once, a concubine called him ugly. He had her killed. He purportedly had rough skin and was not very handsome. However, as he got older, he fought the Kalinga War. This war was very brutal. Hundreds of thousands of people died. As he stood around the battlefield and saw the great carnage of death, and it wasn't just the soldiers being killed, but the displacement of the families, the orphans being created, it was so devastating that Ashoka, who was known before this time as Ashoka the Terrible, changed. He decided never to be so violent ever again. He sent out a decree saying that the country should live in a peaceful manner, and so should the people. He commissioned several statues and recreated inscriptions on these statues with sayings like help each other, be nice to each other. These statues were sent to the far corners of his kingdom. These statues still dot the country of India. One of these statues you can clearly see the darma chakra wheel. In the country of India, it's also part of the flag. Obviously, in many Southeast temples, the symbol is very prevalent, and you can see them as you walk through the grounds. Now that we know more about the wheel, let's go back to the scene. Basically, Ben is trying to turn the wheel to signify the start of enlightenment, or at least start of the path to enlightenment. Lost is a show that is about the struggles and the cycles of life. Lost has the theme of good and evil, and the constant cycle and the constant battle among these two entities. That is why the Dharma Chakra wheel plays such an important symbol in the Lost TV show. Thanks for watching this video, and keep an eye out for the wheel in real life, now that you know what it is.